building. We in the building. We in the building. Bitch, we in the building.
All right, so every year, that franchise guy, aka Marcus Whitman, puts out his power rankings deep dive. And last year, he ranked the New York Football Giants at 29. This year, he ranks them at 23. So it would appear that based on the moves that we've made in his preseason power rankings, we have moved up 6 spots. So cool. What we're going to do is we're going to watch this together. I have not watched this video yet. We're going to watch this together, and I'm going to give my true, no BS reaction to the things that he says about this team. This video is about an hour long. We're going to be here for a minute, so let's go ahead and get into it. Listen, I give credit where credit is due with Marcus, right? A lot of times he's spot on with a lot of these rankings for these teams, man. People give him a lot of shit for his takes on teams, but listen, a lot of times he's right. All right, a lot of times he's right. He wasn't quite right in terms of saying that we were going to be in contention for the number 1 pick. We obviously weren't, but he was right to be relatively down on this team. So credit to him for that. Okay, I completely agree with Marcus on what he's saying about the coaches, right? Like that's the thing that really makes me feel good about the organization is the coaches, right? You get Joe Judge. He comes in. He is a relative unknown. We all freaked out about him, right? We all felt like, who is this guy? Is he going to even be worth his salt? But he proved a lot of us wrong. He really did. And I feel real good about the coaching staff. I feel real good about who Joe Judge has surrounded himself with. And I feel like that is going to be the difference maker for us as an organization. So I completely agree with Marcus right here. Like, I think Marcus is 100% spot on in regards to saying, like, the outlook of this team it looks good. It looks good with this coaching staff. It looks good with this, with this group of guys that Joe Judge has surrounded himself with. Even like Jason Garrett. I'm not a huge Jason Garrett guy, but even with him, like I feel like Joe Judge has a vision. Joe Judge has people buying into the vision, and that's what's going to set us apart in the long term. So 100%, I 100% agree. Oh my God, Marcus Whitman gave props to the front office. Hey, I got to look outside and see if pigs are flying, because Marcus Whitman has been so down. Marcus has been so down on our front office. He has made so many jokes about Dave Gettleman. It's not even funny. So the fact that he's giving props to the front office is crazy right now. Did Marcus just say Dave Gettleman is earning his respect? What's happening here? This is crazy. So it's very interesting, right? Because I felt the exact same way about the loss of Dalvin Tomlinson. I felt the exact same way Marcus feels. It's like, we're loaded at DT. Like, we're loaded at interior defensive linemen. So, like, yeah, it sucks that we lost Dalvin Tomlinson, but like we've got pieces there that can give us a similar production. Like, I wholeheartedly believe we've got the pieces there that can give us that same kind of production. I'm not super concerned about Dalvin Tomlinson leaving. Yes, it's going to suck, right? Because what's going to happen is Dalvin Tomlinson, he's over in Minnesota now. He's going to go there. He's going to be a freaking monster, okay? He's going to go there and he's going to eat like he's never eaten before. And then we're going to be like, oh my God, we let this guy walk away for nothing. Like, that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, I don't like to make predictions, but I'm predicting that Dalvin Tomlinson is going to go to Minnesota. He's going to be a monster. Giants fans are going to be crying about it, okay? But, like, we've got the pieces in place to where we can get similar production than what we had with Dalvin Tomlinson. I'm not that concerned about it. Okay, so ranking us 24th in terms of quarterbacks, I don't disagree, right? I don't disagree. Like, I don't think that Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback. I also don't think that Daniel Jones is a bottom 10 quarterback. I think he's somewhere in the middle, right? And obviously I'm basing this off of the his body of work, but I'm also basing it off of the potential that's there, right? Like, I feel like Daniel Jones is never going to be that top 10 guy, right? I don't think Daniel Jones is ever going to be that top 10 guy. That's my personal opinion. I don't think we're going to be talking about Daniel Jones being one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I don't think there's ever going to be a year that Daniel Jones is the runaway for MVP. I don't think that's ever going to happen, okay? I do think that Daniel Jones will be league average. And I'm okay with having league average quarterback play if the pieces around him are just rock stars. Okay, I don't necessarily feel like you need to have a quarterback that makes everyone better if you have people that make your quarterback better. I don't know if even that makes sense, but in my mind, it makes sense. I think that we have people on this team that can make the quarterback look better than what he may be. And I kind of almost prefer to have, players that complement the quarterback as opposed to having a quarterback that complements the players. Because now everything is dependent on the quarterback making everybody around him better. And there's going to be some people who think that that's a dumb take, right? But I wholeheartedly believe in the team sport aspect. I wholeheartedly believe that you should have people that make people better. And it shouldn't be on one guy to make everyone else better. All right? Like I don't agree with that. Okay, so like I am not unhappy with this ranking for our quarterback room of being, kind of in the middle, but not quite, a little lower than the middle, right under league average. I'm okay with that. I can dig that. Wow, Marcus just said that Daniel Jones's accuracy is pretty good. I remember having a Twitter debate with Marcus because Marcus said that Daniel Jones didn't have the arm talent to be a NFL caliber quarterback. Said something in regards to not being able to throw the 10-yard out route. And I said, bro, are you watching the film? Because he's clearly thrown 10-yard out routes. He's got some arm talent. Like, his accuracy isn't the best, but it's not terrible like you're making it out to be. And this is when the draft happened and Marcus was just like laughing at the Giants for picking up Daniel Jones, 6 overall. But like I can distinctly remember Marcus going in on Daniel Jones's arm talent. And so it's refreshing and very respectable that he kind of backed off that a bit and just gave Daniel Jones some props for his arm talent. Cool. Again, his arm talent is not the best. I don't think his arm talent is fantastic. But I think his arm talent is good. I think his arm talent is fine. Okay? And if you're going to compare him to Jimmy G or Ryan Tannehill or Kirk Cousins, I'll accept that. I'll definitely accept that. 100%. I agree. I agree with that point of, and I said that myself. Like this is the year for Daniel Jones. This is it. Okay? Like the Giants have put themselves in a position to where if Daniel Jones is not the guy, they've got the draft capital to move up and get who they think could be the guy. Like, this is it. The pressure is on for Daniel Jones. This is a put up or shut up year for this man. Like, it's just what it is. All right? Like, we've got to be honest. We've got to be unbiased. We've got to be fair. I 100% agree. Like, yo, Daniel, you've got to make it happen this year. You got to. Because if you don't, the Giants could find someone else if they wanted to. They could trade up in the draft and get their guy. They could put together a package for a quarterback that's not happy, that's talented as hell. It can happen. So, like, I 100% agree. Put up or shut up, make it happen, or get the hell out of here. That's what it is. I also agree with this. Saquon has the ability to be the best athlete in the NFL. Without question, all right? He has the ability to be the best athlete in the NFL. And I can see him coming back this year and just being a monster if the scheme is correct. If he's used properly, I can 100% see him doing that. I also agree with the fact that, Saquon is a guy that doesn't like to get a 2-yard run. Like, he doesn't want to get a strong 2 yards and move on to the next down. Like, he wants to shimmy, shake, break someone's ankles, turn every play into a 60-yard dash. And I really do wish that he would be okay with getting those grimy 3 yards, 3-4 yards in a clip. I'm fine with that. Like, I'm okay with that. And I hope that maybe the coaching staff tells him, hey, just go and get a couple of yards, okay? Like, on this play, go and get a couple of yards and go back to the damn huddle. Like, I don't need you to dance, okay? I don't need you to spin. I don't need you to jump and twirl. I just need you to go and get 3 yards and then get your ass back in the huddle. Please, please. I hate this notion that running backs aren't important. Like, I hate this notion. And you know what? It might be right, okay? I'm not saying that it's not a correct assessment of a position on a football team, okay? I hate this narrative that running back is so unimportant. Like, I feel like in certain situations, in certain scenarios, having a good running back room can be the difference between you winning and losing a game. Not all the time, but like, I just don't know. I don't know. I hate this narrative. I'm sorry if you're one of those people that are all about this narrative. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I could be incorrect here. I just hate this notion that running backs are unimportant. I think they're very important. I think that they're very important. When you've got a good running game, it's going to help your passing game, especially on play action. If I have to stack the box because you've got a beastly ass running back, and it gives more opportunities for one-on-one matchups against wide receivers, against tight ends if you have a tight end that's really good. If you can manufacture those one-on-one matchups, that kind of stuff is important. So I don't know. I just don't like this narrative. Like, I do understand that you can find running backs all over the place. I understand that. I acknowledge that. But I just don't like this notion that running backs, on the whole, are just like not that important. I can't buy into that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's because I'm a boomer. I don't know. I just can't get with it. As Marcus talks about the depth in our running back room, I kind of go back to when I did my analysis, I guess, on our running back room, and I said I don't feel good about our running back room. I said that I didn't think that we had enough. And now that I look at what we currently have, like, I won't say that I'm comfortable. I won't say that I'm comfortable with our running back room, but I will say that I'm okay. I'm okay. I like Booker. Booker is a good power option. Corey Clement's a good option. In third down, as Marcus said. And then when we look at like Armstead, Brightwell, I'm okay. I'm okay, right? I don't see us having this many running backs. We'll probably keep. Maybe we'll keep Elijah Penny as a, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do with Elijah Penny, to be honest with you. But maybe we keep him as a fullback. Maybe we don't. But like as I look at what we have here, I'm like, okay, all right, this could work. This could work. This is a nice decent room right here. This could work. So I feel a little bit better about our running back room than I did, when I went over what we had. I feel a little bit better. Wow, eighth. Marcus has us 8th in the wide receiver room. 8th. Wow. I didn't think he'd have us that high. 8th. Not bad. Okay. 100% correct, Marcus. 100% correct. With the addition of Kenny Golladay, it takes the pressure off everybody else. It does. you're 9 times out of 10, your best guy's got to cover Galladay. Like 9 times out of 10. So that means Darius Slayton can probably eat. That means Sterling Shepard can probably eat. That means Kadarius Toney can eat. All right, like it's 100% correct. Like I can't agree with this more. It's such a big move for the Giants because it allows our other wide receivers to go play where they're good. Okay, Darius Slayton should not have been a number 1 guy. He shouldn't have been because Darius Slayton, even though I like him, right? I like Darius Slayton a lot. I really do. But he's not a number 1. I'm sorry, he's not a number 1. So to have Darius Slayton be our number 2 sometimes, maybe Sterling Shepard lines up at number 2, right? Maybe sometimes Kadarius Toney does it. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that now you've got to put your best guy on Galladay. You've got to. And that allows everyone else to play against lesser competition. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. Darius Slayton is the ghost in the shadows. I mean, listen, I like it, man. He's the ghost in the shadows. 100% agree. I 100% agree on that take with Darius Slayton. He is a guy that, look, if it was me, I'm putting Darius Slayton on the perimeter as well. I'm putting him on the perimeter, okay? And then that way, you've got to worry about Kenny Galladay being able to high point a pass, right? He's able to high point catch whatever. And you've got Darius Slayton. He can take the top off, but he also, as Marcus said, he is good. He is good in some of these comebacks, these hitches, these slants. So yeah, he's gonna keep people honest. If they use these guys correctly, like this could be a dangerous combination right here. Ghost and shadows. This is why I watch Marcus's stuff, man, because a lot of times Marcus will make you think about things that you didn't think about. And man, he's absolutely correct here. And this is something that I wasn't even really thinking about. But when you look at those 4 wide receivers, you see 4 different skill sets. You absolutely do see 4 different skill sets. Like you've got 4 different players here that can do a thing, right? And this could be scary. This could very well be very scary because of the fact that you've got guys here that can all do different stuff. Like when you look at our top 4 wide receivers, it is not carbon copy at all. You do not have 2 guys here that do the same things. And I've never really thought about that, but that's 100% true. Shout out to Marcus for that. That's 100% true. I never thought about the fact that, yeah, like there aren't 2 guys here that are like the same. Like, well, why do we need this guy if we got that guy? Like even with the Sterling Shepard Kadarius Toney situation where they're both kind of slot guys, they're slot guys, but they both do different stuff in the slot. That's very interesting, man. I didn't really even think about that, to be honest with you. Or like maybe I did, but it was like a thought super deep in the back of my mind. But like, yeah, I agree. And that's very interesting, and this could be very scary. Evan Ingram. I hate him. So this is a good point. Listen, the damn Giants front office has given Daniel Jones everything here, man. Like they have given this man everything. They've given him everything, all right? And if you can't make it work with this, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Now, the next thing Marcus is getting ready to talk about is going to be the excuse, but I don't think it's going to be the excuse, and I honestly think this is where me and him are going to probably disagree a bit, but let's see. This alignment looks interesting. I talked about this. I don't remember when I talked about this, but I talked about this. This alignment looks very interesting. And this is based off of, I guess, how Marcus would line these guys up. So like a lot of these alignments they look weird, right? But this is, I'm pretty sure this is what Marcus would do if he was lining these guys up. Andrew Thomas at the left still, Fulton at the left at guard, Nick Gates at center, Will Hernandez over on the right, and Nate Solder over on the right. This is interesting, okay? I saw something where they were talking about Will Hernandez lining up at right during some of the trainings, and I didn't really put a whole lot into that, right? Because I was like, yeah, of course, you want to see how these guys line up all over the place, right? Talked about that in a past video, talking about some of the scrimmages and whatnot. I talked about that in some of the past videos that we've had, where you line people up kind of in other positions to see how they do. But this is an interesting lineup. I'm going to give Marcus a shout out here for his take on Andrew Thomas, because Marcus and I, we were parallel during the road to that draft when we got Andrew Thomas. Like, we were parallel. I thought Andrew Thomas was tackle one, okay? He talks about Tristan Wirfs, who's, hey, credit where it's due. Wirfs has been fantastic, okay? Tristan Wirfs has been fantastic, but we didn't know that at the time. Like, we didn't know that he was going to be so good. But like we were parallel on this Andrew Thomas thing, and I liked the second half of Andrew Thomas's rookie year more than the front half, okay? But that was to be expected, right? I told everyone, hey, don't jump out the window with some of these young guys for the first half of the season, because it was a different type of year. It was a different type of year. And they didn't get all of the reps that they would normally get prior to the season. So, like, we saw Andrew Thomas kind of figure it out, kind of find his footing, and start to have a better stretch of performances on the second half of the year. And to be completely fair, right, the first half of his year, he was going against monsters. He was going against absolute monsters. Like, hey, welcome to the NFL, kid. You going against the best, all right? And even in that stretch of 8 games where it just didn't look that great for Andrew Thomas, there were flashes where it was like, okay, all right, I like what I see from this kid. He's got to figure it out, but this kid could be really good. So, listen, I think the sky's the limit for Andrew Thomas. I think he's going to get better, and I think that we're going to be happy with him on this team ultimately. So I give credit to Marcus for that. Marcus's take on Matt Parrott was the reason why I really went and looked at him. Marcus talked about Matt Parrott first, from what I remember. He was the first person to talk about Matt Parrott, and I was like, all right, I guess I gotta go look at this guy. And I went and I looked at what I could find, and I was like, oh yeah, he could have something. He could have something. I've always criticized Parrott about being too nice, not being mean enough. We'll see. It looks like he's put on some size too. So we're going to have to see what Matt Parrott could be. He's going to have to beat out Nate Solder for a tackle spot. I agree. But listen, Marcus was the one who made me stop and take a look at Matt Parrott. So props to Marcus for that as well. Oh, Marcus. I'm giving you all this credit, Marcus. Oh, Marcus. You don't like Shane Lemieux? I know he didn't have the best of years. I know he didn't, but Shane Lemieux is a guy. Shane Lemieux is a guy that's got promise. Like, he's a guy that got promise. Oh, Marcus, you're killing me, man. Come on, bro. Oh, come on now, dog. Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you serious? You're gonna call Nick Gates the worst center in the... Come on, man. Marcus just called Nick Gates the worst center in the NFL. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, Marcus. He's not the worst center in the NFL. He's not the best center in the NFL, but he's not the worst. Oh my God. Oh my God, yo. Here in a little bit, you're going to talk about, in a little bit here, Marcus, you're going to talk about The guy that you said was the worst player in the NFL, period. He's coming up. You're going to have to talk about him, Marcus. Come on, dog. Come on, man. You got to be careful about saying someone's the worst player at a position or the worst player in the NFL. Because it makes you look bad, Marcus. It makes you look bad. Oh, come on, dog. So, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with, because now... Okay, we're gonna grade this offensive line at 28th in the league, and so essentially what you're saying right now, Marcus, is that there are 4 offensive lines that are worse than the Giants. All right, I don't necessarily think that this offensive line is going to be better than 20. Okay, like I don't think this offensive and I'm being generous here when I say 20. I'm being generous. Okay, you guys know me. All right, I'm realistic about this damn team. I'm realistic about this team. Okay, I'm not gonna come out here and tell you guys lies about this team. I'm just not gonna do it. It's not fair. Okay. So I'm being generous when I say that this offensive line can probably grade 20th. I don't even really believe that they'll ever get that high this year, okay? I don't believe that. If they make it to 20, it's just because everything worked out perfectly, all right? But 28th, I just don't know if 28 is where I would put this right now. I don't know. I think there's at least another 2 or 3 offensive lines across the league that are worse than the Giants, okay? And there's so much upside here with this team. I don't know how I feel about Nate Solder. I don't hate Nate Solder, but I'm not in love with Nate Solder, okay? I would prefer for Parrott to get that right tackle spot. And let's just let this guy get better, all right? But I'm not good enough to be an NFL coach, so my opinion really doesn't mean anything. But this is where I disagree with Marcus. And I knew we were going to disagree on this offensive line. I knew we were going to disagree here. It's not even a surprise. But man. All right, let's continue. I agree with that. Okay, y'all. I agree with that. I agree with the fact that our depth is what's holding us back. I agree. Okay? Any of these guys right here up at the top that gets hurt, right? Anything past Parrott and Lemieux, we're in trouble. I agree. I agree with that. I don't want to, but I agree with that. God, I agree with that. 31st in coaching. Wow. 31st. We're 31st. You think we have the 31st coaching staff on offense? I mean, is it is it because Jason Garrett drags us down that low? I mean, we've got a pretty damn good running back coach. We got a pretty damn good offensive line coach. Allegedly, we got a pretty damn good offensive line coach. Wide receiver coach is pretty damn good. We've got. Well, he's not the tight end coach anymore because now he's almost like the assistant offensive coordinator in Freddie Kitchens. He was a terrible head coach, but he was really good offensive minded coach. But we got the 31st coach. All right, Marcus. All right, man. So it is because of Jason Garrett. It is because of Jason Garrett. It's because of Jason Garrett you're ranking us that low. It is because of, my goodness, one guy. I mean, I know he's got to call the plays. Like I know he calls the plays. I understand that Jason Garrett calls the plays. Oh my God! But you're like, oh my God. Okay. You better be high on this damn defense, Marcus. You better be high on this damn defense. I'm telling you right now, Marcus, you better be high on this defense.